So I've promised to coach you through this 12-week course, and one of the most important things, the deciding factor as to whether you are successful or not, is how motivated you are. So I'd just like to take you through a process of considering whether you are motivated. If I think about the things in my life that I've achieved, one of the things that is always true across the board is that I've been motivated. I've really wanted it. If I look at last year, 2011, when I ran the Virgin London Marathon, I had 6 months worth of training. I had 6 months to mentally get my head around the fact that I was going to run a marathon. So my time frame was 6 months. This is the first thing that's really good about training for a marathon. You have a definite goal, a definite time frame. We have the same thing, we have 12 weeks. The second thing was my goal. I decided fairly early on, maybe 2 months into my training, that I wanted to run it in under 5 hours. So that's the second thing, that was my goal. I had a very clear goal. And I actually fulfilled that. I ran it in 4 hours and 49 minutes. And that's the power of goal setting. When we set our mind to something and we know we've got a definite goal, we're much more likely to fulfill it. Another goal I've got at the moment is that within the next 2 years I'd like to live in France. So we shall see whether I fulfill this. But it's having a definite goal there. And I know this is going to really help me when I'm improving my French. And I want the same thing for you. I want you to find a deep reason which gives you some kind of meaning towards fulfilling your goal of reducing your accent. So I'd like to start by asking you to think about what your motivations are. What are those deep reasons, that driving force within you that makes you want to achieve this? You may want to take a piece of paper and write a list of all the reasons, all the motivators, all those goals, all the things that will help you to get through this course and to achieve the most out of it possible. So that's motivation. Let me ask you a few more questions. So once you've got your reasons, I'd really like to know what you're going to gain from reducing your accent. So what will you gain? And what will you lose? I ask you these questions because it's so important that our heart is fully in something if we want it to be successful. So if there's a part of you that doesn't want to lose your accent, you may find it tricky. And you may even want to have a little bit of coaching around that before embarking on this journey. The next thing is commitment. So just by telling all these people, through sending out my sponsorship request, I committed myself to running the marathon. Because how embarrassing would it be if I chickened out towards the end? So I'd like you to do something similar. Now you don't have to ask for sponsorship, but I'd like you to tell as many people as possible what you're doing. So tell people who you feel comfortable with, who you feel will be supportive. It's very important that we tell people who are positive about our goals. Tell them your motivators, your reasons for doing it, your deep desires. Tell them that you're doing it and that within 12 weeks they're going to notice a significant difference. This is your commitment. Another thing you can do is just write about it. Journal about the process. Write down each day how much practice you've done and make a commitment to do this for 12 weeks. Now, one of the most fundamental things when we're sticking to something is that we make it doable for us, realistic. So if an hour a day is realistic for you, commit to that. I highly doubt that many people will be able to commit to an hour a day, but I think that most of you can commit to 10 or 15 minutes. Another great thing you can do is fit in your practice at times when you're not doing much. So every time you wash your hands, do some of the warm-up exercises. When you're in the shower, do the warm-up or take a sound with you into the shower. Think, right, while I take my shower, I'm going to work on this sound, whatever it may be. So practicing throughout the day, whenever you can, so that it makes it much more easy to really get your practice into your daily life. Make it a part of you, a part of your day. And finally, before we move on, I want you to be really honest with yourself. Is this something that you really want deep down? Do you really want to reduce your accent? Because if the answer is no, then we might as well stop right here. So committing to this is really important. Find your motivator, that deep driving force. And once you've got it, commit to practicing every day. Commit to practicing throughout the day, every time you wash your hands, or every time you walk to the bus stop, or the shop, or the post office. Whatever you do regularly, and stick to it. Okay, good luck.